Yeah, the Seahawks are 7-7, and this was quite the frustrating loss. I'm sitting here with my Mariners beanie on, so don't laugh at me. I was watching the game outside with family. But today was a frustrating loss for the Seahawks. And by frustrating, I don't necessarily mean that I didn't expect it. I think the 49ers are the better football team. But by frustrating, I mean that the Seahawks were a team that was easily in a playoff spot, easily in race for the division for the NFC West. But now we're at 7-7 on the outside looking in for the playoffs. And I have no idea what's going to happen the rest of the year. Now we play the Chiefs next week, which is also a tough game, on Christmas Eve in Kansas City. So I can't tell you that's going to be a win. We play the Jets after that at home. The Jets are also a good defense. And then we play the Rams, and who knows what's going to go down. Now, I think at 9-8, if we win 2 out of the next 3, there's a chance to make the playoffs. But realistically, I would want to be more comfortable winning 10 games, so maybe winning 3 straight would make the playoffs. But if we don't, we don't. And here's why I kind of just feel like this season's okay for the Seahawks. At the end of the day, I thought this Seahawks team, personally, me, Sammy Jarjour, Sammy on tap, whatever you know me as, I thought this season was going to be a season where the Seahawks win 3 games. We're sitting at 7-7. Now, I'd be shocked if we lost every game moving forward, ending the season on a 5-game losing streak. That's not what I'm expecting. I think that this team might win a couple more, might lose a couple, whatever it may be. And at the end of the day, if you win 8, 9, or 10 games, this is such a successful season for a young Seahawks team with a quarterback who's been a backup for, I think, 5, 6 years, whatever it's been for Geno Smith. It's okay. We're going to be okay. Now, after watching the way Nick Bosa played against the Seahawks, it brought me to the thought. The Seahawks should draft a defensive lineman with the number 2 pick we get from the Broncos. Now, that pick might be number 3 or 4 when the season's all said and done. But go for defensive linemen. You can see what the 49ers are doing with Brock Purdy. They started the year of Trey Lance. They went to Jimmy Garoppolo. They went to Brock Purdy. And they're still really fucking good. They beat the Seahawks convincingly today, even though it was only an 8-point game. They beat the Buccaneers very convincingly last week. If you can build the right offensive line, a run game, good receivers, and a good defensive line, and we already have good corners and a good safety and maybe 2 good safeties with Adams and Diggs, you can win football games. So in my humble opinion, if you find a way to run it back with Geno Smith, and I'll get to this in a second, but it's good when he's making less money when he's playing like this. If you can find a way to build this team with a good defensive line through the draft, we have a better offensive line. Year 2 with Cross and Lucas is going to be better. And you already have the receivers. You have a good young running back. Rashad Penny comes back maybe, and you might have another good young running back as long as he stays healthy. This team actually could be really, really lethal. Just like 2012, 13, 14, where they built a team with a run game, good receivers, a good defense, and let the quarterback just do what he has to do. As good as Russell Wilson was long-term, early on when they won the Super Bowl, he was just doing what he had to do. He wasn't going above and above and above beyond. He wasn't playing Peyton Manning, Tom Brady, Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen football, Aaron Rodgers football. He was playing Russell Wilson football, establish a run game, good defense, see what happens. So at the end of the day, after today's game, I tweeted this out, I think, a day or 2 ago. This is kind of a win-win situation for the Seahawks. You win this game, you would have been at 8-6, still in playoff contention, potentially make a playoff run, whatever it may be. You lose this game. Geno Smith, who went 31 for 44 with 238 and a touchdown, he played okay, but he didn't look like, the top 5 quarterback he looked like the first half of the year. Maybe instead of having to pay Geno Smith, Ryan Tannehill money at $28 million, maybe you can get away with paying him $18, $19, $20 million a year. And he's definitely worth it up to $20, $25 million max. And I know that sounds like a lot, but that's just the market we're in. If you can pay him that, build the right run defense, you can build corners, safeties, linebackers. The offensive line's already being built. You already have good receivers. You already have good running backs. You don't have to draft there. You might be able to win and go deep in the playoffs if Geno Smith has the protection and has the defense to back him up. So at the end of the day, I'm not going to freak out over this Seahawks loss to the Niners. Number one, the Niners are better than us. I hate to say it, but they're maybe outside the Eagles, the best team in the NFC. They're probably better than the Vikings, right? Maybe they're the best team in football because we're talking about a team that has their third backup quarterback now, their third string quarterback, to say it better, and they're still winning football games. So I can't sit here and pretend that they're not a better football team. The problem is Christian McCaffrey ran for 108 yards on us, and Jordan Mason ran for 64, whoever the hell Jordan Mason is. Brock Purdy looked okay, but he's always looked okay with this type of offense. So I'm not here to like hit panic mode anymore, because I've realized at the end of the day, this was a win-win type of scenario for the Seahawks. You lose, you get a better draft pick anyways as a Seahawks team. Instead of drafting in the 20s, maybe like 15, 16, 17. And you're already getting that pick from Denver. And at the end of the day, this season was supposed to be like a 2-3 win season, dude. I don't know. I don't know what you were smoking if you were thinking they were going to win 7, 8, 9 games. I didn't. And we're probably seeing the reality of that now. They probably played above what their actual play was most of the season. Now they're coming back down to earth, but they're not a bad football team. A stop, if we had the right guys, if we had a Joey Bosa and a Armstrong, whatever his name is, Armstead, sorry, on the Seahawks, and we could get a stop on that last drive, we have the ball potentially to go downfield and tie it. But we don't have that. But if we get that, all of a sudden this is a different football team. So, everyone, as Aaron Rodgers would say, RELAX. Relax. It's all going to be fine. We have a future to build. Don't draft a quarterback. Draft a team. Build it, and then the quarterback can come, or it might be Geno Smith. That's all I got to say. No panic after this Seahawks game. It's more of a now what type of situation. I'm Sammy on Tap, SAMI on Tap, and you can follow me everywhere on every platform there. DM me on Instagram if you like. I'll talk sports with you. And last but not least, follow our Seattle brand at SONT Seattle, SONT Seattle. It stands for Sports on Tap Seattle. We tweet about everything Seattle sports, and we have a podcast, the Sports on Tap Seattle podcast. Much love, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace. Damn. Still a tough loss, though.